Hello, friends. Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey, solo producing this one for you guys here on a very cold Sunday in Dallas. Let's dive into the latest rumors, and we're going to begin with J.J. Watt because, of course, we are. What else would you guys expect, right? A lot to unpack here. Unfortunately, I don't think you're going to like what I have to say. I want to preface this by saying, unquestionably, I would at least see what the cost of J.J. Watt is because that makes sense. He's J.J. Watt, right? He's been released by Houston. He can sign with any team he wants to. However, per Jane Slater, and history says she's right, the Cowboys don't really seem to have all that much interest in Watt, which is very, very frustrating in the end. Look, there's a lot to go with here. And I understand some potential concerns around adding a player like J.J. Watt. You've got a lot of needs, right? You've got needs in the linebacking core. You got needs in the secondary across the board. But you could unquestionably use a player of J.J. Watt's caliber. There's no doubt about that if we're being honest with where this Dallas Cowboys team is at. Are you worried about the injuries? Absolutely. He's missed a lot of time the past 2 years. Yes, he played all 16 games this year and in 2018. Hasn't always been the case for him, though. So because of that, it's fine to have those concerns. And you know what? Maybe J.J. Watt wants a lot of money. Maybe J.J. Watt's like, yeah, I want to go to a team that can pay me more. I want to go to a team that's better overall. Okay. I can understand if you try with J.J. Watt and you come with the conclusion of he's just going to go elsewhere. We try, but it's just not going to be a money or a fit or whatever. Okay, I get that. To really not have all that interest at all and not even call, what are you doing? Why wouldn't you at least call or pick up the phone? So I'm not going to get my hopes up, but it sounds like they're not interested. And I do want to, by the way, call out Dallas Morning News. Alvin Watkins puts out, J.J. Watt would just add a log jam on the defensive line where you got DeMarcus Lawrence and Aldon Smith, who, if he comes back, and Randy Gregory and Dorrance Armstrong and Bradley and I might play more. And they can't censor me today, but what the hell? Dorrance Armstrong? Dorrance Armstrong is your reason behind, maybe we don't want to go after J.J. Watt. I mean, are you kidding me? Because of the presence of Dorrance Armstrong, who makes next to no impact in the passing game, you don't want J.J. Watt? And also, you're pitching the argument of, J.J. Watt is an edge rusher only. Guys, if you bring in J.J. Watt in this stage of his NFL career, given your need for an interior pass rusher, and you don't give him some defensive interior snaps, especially on third downs, you're a failure of an organization. So that argument is stupid. In the end, if you can't afford Watt or choose to not afford Watt because you want to spend money elsewhere, or if you just don't think the timing is right or whatever, that's fine. But shoot, man, you at least got to try. So get your votes in here for me. Would you sign J.J. Watt? This question will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down, get your votes in. Y for yes or N for no. Let's talk about Dak Prescott here. A lot to unpack with what Mike Bacsik is saying on 105.3 The Fan. And there's a lot of different layers to this, unfortunately. So to recap, for those of you who don't know what has been said on the radio, Bacsik says, chance Dak never plays again. The ankle injury isn't right. There's more going on here. I know something that no one else knows out there. 99% of you guys don't know. You got to trust me on this one. Yes, there was the second surgery. There's more going on here. The Cowboys might cut him in June. 10% chance he never plays. There's a lot going on. And a lot of what I'm going to say is mixing up of various things. So let's go with this first. For starters, what we know about Dak Prescott, his injury, and all of that. We know for starters, of course, he broke his ankle back in October. And we know he did have a second surgery on that ankle, by the way, back in December. And we also know that was something that Mike Bacsik did know in advance. So Mike was right on that one. I don't want to throw too much shade here, right? We also know for a fact he is out of the walking boot. That's been reported. There are photos of him out of the walking boot altogether. He's on vacation right now in a pool. He's out of the boot. His brother says he's out of the boot as well. So when Bacsik says, wouldn't we have evidence of that, and says there's not, it's just not accurate there. So there's a lot going on here with Dak Prescott, unfortunately. And I do want to emphasize the whole timeline of various things currently going on. In reality, that second ankle surgery was a thing. That did happen. So let's recap this injury timeline, right? Because I think with COVID and just the timing of everything has gotten muddled in terms of like how much time has passed. October 12th, Dak breaks his ankle against the Giants. Now, that initial timeline was reported as a 4 to 6 month injury. Keep that in mind. Dak underwent that second ankle surgery in December. Now, that was reported around the Super Bowl weekend as, this is fine. It was unrelated, just some clean up some old stuff. They strengthened one of the ligaments. It's going to increase his recovery time. And I don't think, and I don't know this for certain, I guess we probably never will until Dak or this doctor comes out and says it. I don't think that injury and that second ankle surgery was as rosy as it had been made to appear with the media reports. I don't think it's bad, and I know he's walking without issue right now and he's doing weight-bearing exercise, but I don't think it was a necessarily planned injury. What I think happened here, and this is not sourced, so it's speculation, but it's informed speculation. What I think happened is that they had the initial surgery on Dak, and they saw some of older injury stuff while they were in there. Like, this is fine. He doesn't have to get it, but we should monitor it. And I think Dak went pretty hard during his rehab. Remember, folks, before this second ankle surgery, it had been reported that Dak Prescott was ahead of schedule. He was ahead of his injury rehab. Stephen Jones said that they were ahead of schedule, and that had been sent back in November. That second ankle surgery pops up in December. So Stephen said in November, excuse me. So I don't think that, I think that after that, the rehab hasn't gone quite exactly as planned. I'm not saying it's bad by any means, but I don't think that rehab was as smooth as like an ideal dream world, right? So that the second surgery happens in December. But what I want to emphasize here is that 4 to 6 month initial window of recovery, we are only just getting into that. It's October to November, November to December, December to January, January to February. So February to April is that 4 to 6 month recovery time. So the report from Rapport was that the second surgery put him back a week behind schedule for the rehab. So, or put him a week from rehabbing. So if that's all the case, we're not even there to when that rehab window is supposed to be over. And with the way they've structured it, based on what I know from previous ankle surgeries of this capacity, he's not supposed to be playing football yet, right? Like, that's not where we're supposed to be at. Like, frankly, we're supposed to be in the middle or at the back end of doing weight-bearing exercise, which is what Dak is doing. So, as near as I can tell, based on what we know, we're actually in the proper window of recovery. Where things get dicey in the end, why I think there's some concern, is that window isn't exactly ideal. Again, February, April. So, in theory, Dak should be fully recovered before the NFL draft, but also, he's not going to be fully recovered before the start of NFL free agency in all likelihood. Like, there's a real possibility of that, which isn't a huge surprise. And I think because of that muddled timeline, because of the second surgery, which again, I don't think was planned, I think he just had to go get it. It's not the end of the world. It happens. I think that's led us to a lot of confusion here. So, again, takeaway number one. We are within the normal time frame of the recovery for this injury. I think it's a bigger deal because it's the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, and he's a pending free agent who might get franchise tagged. Rehab, in reality, probably hasn't gone exactly 100% perfectly, and that's okay. I'm not going to freak out about it, but I do think that's where we're at. What bothers me with Bacsik's reporting and why it frustrates me with the way that it gets reported is that there's some blending of the lines here. Like, number one, if this report had just been, oh, hey, Dak had the second ankle surgery. It didn't go exactly right, so we have to monitor this. Just keep an eye on it. I don't think the reaction on social media is nearly as vicious as it is towards Mike. But when it comes with the other stuff of 10 to 20% chance he never plays football again, and shouldn't he be walking when he actually already is, and he could get cut in June, it doesn't look accurate because they're not going to cut Dak Prescott in June. Like if, for example, Dak was concerned about the ankle, and if it's as bad as Bacsik has made it seem to be out there, like he would sign the tag immediately, and then you can't cut him in June. And once he signs the tag, you don't save any money. You're not going to pay him $37 million for him just to cut him. That doesn't make any sense. So I think that's the root cause here. I think the confusion of what is reporting versus opinion has caused some issues there. In the end, I'm not that worried about Dak. Let that be the number one takeaway here. I'm not concerned. All the guys who's going to come back from injury, it's probably Dak. I watched Alex Smith nearly lose his leg and be able to play football again. I'm not going to go with the 10 or 20% chance he never plays football again like Bacsik has. That's not where I'm at. Frankly, I'm pretty confident in Dak Prescott coming back. So get your votes in here. What is your confidence level in Dak Prescott, knowing in the end there's plenty we don't fully know because that's just how things end up working out as it relates to injuries. Rate this for me on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you think he's done, the foot's off altogether, which again we know it's not. 10 being you think there is no injury at all. I'm at like a 7 or an 8. Like, yeah, it'll always be in the back of your mind. There's still rehab time. Stuff could go wrong, but I'm not going to panic about it anytime soon if I were the Dallas Cowboys or even Dak Prescott. Now, it is Valentine's Day, and I hope you guys didn't forget to get your wife or girlfriend or fiance something nice today. So head over to chatsports.com/flowers. Save 15% off all flowers and gifts today. That's chatsports.com/flowers. Pro tip, if you forgot, I can help you cover. Now, you're in trouble no matter what, but you can make yourself not as in trouble. Simply say, hey, I ordered you something a long time ago. I didn't anticipate it was going to be delayed so long because of COVID and all of that. So it is coming. It's just not here yet, but it will be here. I promise you, sweetheart. You'll look better. You're still going to be in trouble, but you'll save some hassle from your wife or girlfriend there. Chatsports.com/flowers, 15% off everything. I do want to wrap up today's show with this rumor. Not something I was anticipating seeing pop out there, but hey, welcome to life in today's crazy, wacky world. La'el Collins' agent took to Twitter to dispel rumors that Collins was going to retire. So here's what his agent said, right? Agent says, to address the rumors, no, my client La'el Collins is not retiring. He loves football and the Dallas Cowboys and is working for a Super Bowl ring. Everyone have a blessed weekend. He threw that in on top as well. So, obviously, I consider myself pretty up to date. This is a Cowboys rumor show after all. We stay updated on those, right? I had not heard this rumor at all. I frankly, I don't know where those rumors came from. Now, there is some underlying stuff with La'el Collins that I am worried about. Frankly, I worry about La'el more than I do Dak Prescott. He missed all of last year due to a hip injury. And allegedly was because he wasn't in shape, which I feel is important to mention given the history of La'el Collins. You can go way back to his NFL draft times, and LSU, the coaching staff put out the, hey, scouts, I'm not going to talk about this guy. There were effort issues. Like that is a real thing. And you allegedly aren't in shape, has hip injury, or vice versa. Hip injury led to him being out of shape regardless. There's some disputed information there. I think he was out of shape. That's a problem for me. And that does have me worried as we move forward to the 2021 season. I need La'el Collins out there and healthy. I need him there. If he's not, I don't trust this offensive line. Like, that gives me major, major concern. If La'el Collins can't go, that's troubling for me. So get your votes in here. Will La'el Collins bounce back in 2021? Let me know what you guys think here in the comments section. Is La'el going to bounce back or not? 1 for yes, 0 for no. I want to believe that everything's going to be just fine with La'el when it's all said and done. I am unconvinced that's actually going to be the case, so we'll see what happens. Get your votes in. 1 for yes, 0 for no. I want him out there, but that is the one I'm certainly going to monitor as things move along this offseason.